You don't have to read what they say, you must look at what Kaplinski said, because most of that was just an application of what Kaplinski was saying about Fordism and post-Fordism and all of that, which, as Nicolas said, was far away from the reality in this, on the shop floor in this country. So, and what happens is that with the shift in the East and the collapse of those experiments, given the fact of no social roots and implementation, they're the first to move, meaning they move rightwards. And some of this, in fact, the ANC in the first few years relies on them for some economic policy. So I think that the ANC gets blamed for a lot of things which should be blamed on others. I just say that the last point I just want to make it. I mean, I have a thing about how this happens in a union like this. Clearly, we take a union like NUMSA, from 88 up to 19, the amount of entrenchments, the loss of experienced cadre that goes back to 73 is lost. How do you explain that you have an ISP report that talks about integrating the global market, let's lower the tariffs and all of that? But if you look at the COSATU 1992 policy framework, it's the opposite of what the ISP says about. So clearly in the same union movement, the 1992 policy conference of COSATU is still stuck on issues of nationalization and all of that, whereas the leadership and the white intellectuals in COSATU are moving the right way. But as I said, it's a bit of a longer story, Carl, maybe for a short breakfast.
Okay, I'm just going to tell we're going to have to cut this session short. There might be more time at the end of the last panel to discuss. I'm just going to use my position as chair once, I promise not to do it again. Just an idea in terms of better understanding or getting to grips with the roles between the expanded treasury and conservative macroeconomic policy. My sense is that it's not the macroeconomic policy that's starting to increase, it's somewhere else in the treasury. And it's more about the growing scope creep of the treasury that I think one needs to understand. It's in public finance, I think that has really grown. And that is about a state that is increasingly obsessed with compliance, where you see growth in corporate services in order to service that compliance across the states and departments, and yet at the same time an increasingly non-compliant state. And I think that speaks more to new public management than it does to necessarily sort of broad and neoliberal policy adoption. And whilst the NPM is shaped by neoliberalism, emerges out of it, its roots are somewhere else in the South African case. And I think that we need to start distinguishing between those two. Right, so I'm going to go straight through to the next panel. So if we can get Roger Southall and Lindsay up.